All right, we're gonna do just a cleanup. Go through and trim back. Like all these burning bush here can be trimmed. She'd like to do it later in the year, probably closer to July or something like that, which I think with our backlog is probably about where it would be. But just cleaning up the beds when that time comes, and they're pretty clean now. I'm gonna give her a pre-emergent quote and monthly herbicide treatments, but she says she keeps up with the weeds throughout the year. In the back, there's definitely a lot more cleanup. There's a bunch of grasses and stuff like that. But just cleaning out all these beds. This burning bush, by the time we get here, it's going to be able to be trimmed back. If there's anything we can do with those hydrangea, trim that as well. A little bit of leaves in the corner here. Everything's popping up, but all this stuff she would like it trimmed back. If this is Bridal's wreath here, looks like maybe barberry over here. This crepe myrrh, we're just going to prune that away from the house. But yeah, these here, we're just going to trim these back, all these grasses, clean out these beds. If there's any perennials that can be nipped back, we'll take care of them then. That's about it for the cleanup. But I would figure at least a half a day, probably 3/4 of a day with 2 people. And it kind of depends on how weedy everything gets. She would like to include mulch rings around these trees, so I'm gonna give a quote for that, and it's gonna be black mulch. Also, the oak tree in the front right here is gonna get a quote for mulching. Oh.